Hello everyone. Welcome to Fralins and Friends. We love you and you get to be part of us. Painting Beta Man. This is our project tonight and he's going to be a partner to Delta Man. He's going to have, just like Delta Man, he's going to have the dark blue jeans and the black boots. Now I gave him a belt for some reason. I didn't put a belt on Delta Man, but that's okay. They don't all have to dress exactly alike. So, and then the top is going to be dark green. Well, bright green, not dark green, bright green. That is according to the Greek letters. When you look them up, they can have all kinds of things associated with them. And the color green is associated with beta. His superpower is listening. And I am going to have him have a device that helps him to have supersonic, is that what they call it, hearing? In other words, he could hear things from a long way off or real close. If there's something bad, but he will be able to distinguish and kind of listening and getting things done. Do we ever really think of those as superpowers or as special traits that some people seem to have more of than others? When I started reading up on what the Greek letter for a Delta Man or a Beta Man, because that was where I got the meanings from. And I want to do the pants first. It kind of made me realize, you know, some people are better at one thing or another, but a lot of times we're all just so busy that we don't sit and take the time to listen to someone and actually listen enough to kind of at least have some empathy for what they're going through. I don't make these really large figures very often because they are very work and time intense, and kind of wonder if I shouldn't have spread this out over 3 days because I was so wiped out last night. Now, one thing, now I can make some women too, but this is going to be a project. These projects are going to grow over time. Now, their identity is totally concealed. That's for good reason. They can go around town being who they are normally. They can still be a good listener or whatever and get jobs done, but superhero part comes in, I guess, when they feel it's necessary. I'm just going to start up here at the top with making him all green. let's say he's sitting in a room with somebody and they're just chatting. I mean, he's listening, but they're just chatting and having, and then all of a sudden he hears in the distance, it could be quite a long distance, he hears a scream. And of course he needs to listen for a second to see, is this a child screaming in play? Or is this, those kinds of discernment things that we all have to do. It's like when you listen to your baby, you know their cry for this and that. Okay, so yeah, he's got that tuned in. And probably something he had to practice for a while. Anyway, and then he will call Delta Man. And the two of them will go together as so that there's a better chance of a successful outcome. If only none is needed, then the other one will go do something else. So the same with Delta Man. If he's trying to complete a project and having trouble helping people understand what they need to help finish the project, he can call on Beta to maybe help explain it in words they will understand better. Sometimes we have a little trouble communicating that way. I know I do. But I used to, when I was working as a nurse, I'd come home. I had been talking all day or all evening or whatever, like a nurse. And so then I would come home and he used to get on to me so bad. It'd be, will you quit talking like you're still at work? I don't know what you're talking about. He still says that has nothing to do with work. Has to do with me starting in the middle of a story or something. I don't know. But these are things that they can work together on. And there will be other group members later on that will okay, here he is, and I'll have Joe fix those fingers, and then once he's mounted, he'll be a lot easier to keep safe. It would be so cool to have these guys made into, oh, I know what I forgot. Okay. What makes him Beta Man if he doesn't have his B? Okay, here we go. Now the Greek B kind of a thing like that. At least the one I saw. There's a couple of symbols. Kind of like English, there's big symbols and little ones. There's our beta man. There we go, we got a beta man. With broken fingers, but those will get fixed. He'll get mounted. I'll put the little thingamabob by his ear. Hopefully next time I won't be so clumsy. I'm going to let him back down. There. And I want to say goodnight. I love all of you. What was I going to say? Well, let's see. I guess Sunday will be uploading a short. So we'll be making a schedule for next week. I haven't had any painting requests, but I do have several smaller, these kind of square ones. They're, they're about this size and they're square. And I might try to find something that sometimes it's fun to paint a scene on something small. Okay, I will see you again tomorrow. If Joe isn't, maybe Joe will do the short. I don't know. We'll see. Love you all. Ah, there's one. Good night. Love you.